end SARS matter, Obaseki don do meeting with youths for Edo. He assure dem say dem go get 60% representation for im new cabinet. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki don assure youth for Edo State say dem go get 60% representation for im new cabinet. He tell di youths dis one for di interactive meeting wey e follow ogbonge youth groups do for Government House, where leaders and representatives of over 30 youth organizations for di state Fokolabo do di ogbonge meeting with am. Governor Obaseki yarn say na political katakata dey cause all di kasala wey don dey shele for di state since wey bad pipo hijack EndSARS protest. He tok say belle no sweet am at all sake of say na some political godfathers dey direct their lions and tigers say make dem dey do all the bad things wey dey shele for the state. The way can see Governor yarn say economic development no go fit shele for the state if law and order no dey, and im go make sure say im deal with these bad people well, come still lock dem put for the zoo where dem from comot before dem go destroy all the better things wey dey the state finish.
So I want to assure you that there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with your protests. It's legitimate, and I support it. What I am worried about is the level of criminality. Part of the fight we had in our first time, was the issue of just maintaining law and order and criminality. Because a lot of these criminals had the cover of the godfathers. They called them their infantry. They called them their lions and tigers. And you know that without law and order, there cannot be any economic growth. Nobody will invest. And you could see them in the last few days, the way they've come out, pouncing on people's private properties. That's the mentality. The reason, the crisis in Edo is not an EndSARS one. It's not an EndSARS one because government supports EndSARS. The crisis in Edo is political. This is an extension of the elections. We defeated them, and they are looking for a backdoor way of making the state unstable. And I know, just like we defeated them in the elections, as long as we have you, we will contain them. They've escaped from the zoo. We've kept them under the guise of EndSARS. With my EndSARS army, we are going to gather them, arrest them, and put them back in the zoo they belong.
Governor Obaseki come still yarn say im administration sabi the ogbonge role wey youths play on top im re-election, and government don already plan to give 60% of youths wey never knack 40 years ogbonge appointment for dis im second term. Im yarn say im tanda gidigba for EndSARS protesters unto say all their demands dey legit, and na dis one make dem set up ogbonge panel of inquiry on top the police brutality matter wey be the koko of the EndSARS protest. The way can see Governor yarn say dem don increase the number of members for the panel to 20, and im don give dem 90 days to deliver the ogbonge evidence wey dem go use take implement their report. Governor Obaseki still come shook mouth put for public works volunteer PUWOV matter, as im yarn say PUWOV na organization wey dem create for ogbonge neighborhood watch for the state. Im yarn say dem don begin train 900 people, and after dem train dis set finish, dem go still train another 1,100 people, and na 20 people dem go come hire per ward wey go be in charge of public safety.
I have no doubt in my mind, I will not have returned back to Government House as governor, but for you. I know the sacrifices a lot of you made. I know the work, the hard work, the risk you took. I was aware of your roles in many polling units when people brought money and you either drove them away or collected the money and did the right thing. So I am very, very clear in my mind how I came back to where I am today. I came back on your back. So have no doubts in your mind. I am on your side. Totally on your side. Our position as government has always been that we are in support of EndSARS. because your demands are legitimate. Anybody who says they're not is unpatriotic, does not love Nigeria. You are not asking for anything unusual. Fortunately, most of the internal issues are things we are already working on and thinking through. There is POWOV. POWOV is our version of neighborhood watch. As I speak today, 900 of them are being trained in Ogida police barracks. Another 1,100 are going to be trained after this set, which will make it 2,000. But over and above that, we're going to hire another set, and which will be about 20 people per ward. I'm even thinking that we may even look at doing one per unit that will be in charge of public safety. I am going to do everything in my power to make sure that we have a strong internal security system and we protect ourselves. So the starting point is what you are doing. Talk about it, shout about it. The next point is that we must sit down and now say, look, this is how we now fix it. Yes, we have started. The panel of inquiry that has been set up is the first step. I've heard you. We need more representation. There are 12 members today. I've just told the SSG they should be increased to 20 to accommodate those groups that are already accepted. That panel has 90 days. I'm imploring all of you, document something. Go to that panel and tell them all you've said and even more. Let it be recorded and documented in a report. So we have something, a document, on which we will now move forward. We will now work. Let it now be left to us to implement. Those we can implement in Edo, hold us now responsible for implementing those things, the reports of that particular panel, in which you have been represented. But please, let us now sit back and make sure that what we have started can be seen through to its logical conclusion. Let it not be hijacked. The most important thing for us in this country is our constitution and our laws. Nobody, no group of people must be above the constitution and the laws of this country. I cannot be governor and not include you. I traveled around the 192 wards of these states. Nobody can tell me what's going on anywhere. I know. And one quick way of fixing our challenges is to make sure that we include more of you in how decisions are made. I have made up my mind on how and who we are going to hire for this next term. And I'll let you know here today. I have not discussed it with anybody, but 60% of our appointees must be under the age of 40.
Representative of NSAS protesters for Edo State, Comrade Abraham Oviawe, come here and say na the suffer wey Naija people don endure for many years. Make them wey be peaceful protesters. They demand all these better things from government hand. He salute the vacancy governor for the judicial panel of inquiry wey im create to show better eye put for all the yamayama wey members of Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SARS) wey federal government be scatter don cause for the state. He yarn say e go better make the panel do the correct job wey go give Edo people the ogbonge justice wey dem dey ask for.
When we approached the government on Friday last week, when we were at the King Square, some individuals led by one Dogo fired live ammunitions on peaceful protesters, which led to the death of one of the protesters. We took that corpse to the government house to express our displeasure. Protesters are known not to carry arms. What we have at best is our placards and our ability to engage critical issues, which bothers us very well. We were there, the deputy governor in his wisdom didn't only address us, he evaporated from the government house and condensed with us at the King Square and addressed that peaceful protesters. And we agree that all through this, no property was destroyed, nobody was attacked, and no gunshot was fired. That presupposes that there are genuine NSAS protesters who are still very much within the state And as I speak to you, Mr. Governor, even while we are here deliberating, we still have a detachment of them at the main gate. They are over 100 meters away from the military. They have never been attacked by the military because they are agitating, they are civil in their best moods, and they are asking for that which is theirs, as it were.
Representative of civil society organizations for Edo State, Curtis Ogbebo, come still clap hand for the way Kamsi governor, unto saying they do everything to ensure say Edo people dey safe. E still come beg government say make dem ensure say dem gbab the bad people wey kpai peaceful protesters for King Square for Benin City.
I want to put it before the government that first, the persons who shot at peaceful protesters should be arrested. Secondly, I'm humbly making a request that all the security chiefs in Edo State, most especially the Commissioner of Police, should be redeployed because they blatantly refuse to provide security for the peaceful protesters. When we got wind on that second day we came out for our peaceful demonstration that we were going to be attacked, a message was sent to the Commissioner of Police and all the security heads. They refused to act. We humbly request that they should provide, their men should be on standby in case of any attack. A colleague of mine here called a very hierarchy officer in the state command who ended the call, and before ending the call, said that anything we want to see, they can bear them.
Representative of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, Stephen Imafidon, come here and say 60% of the victims of police brutality na students. And dem dey ask say make government improve the welfare of police officers, as this one go make them stop to dey do anyhow or rough handle Naija people.
I want to say 60% of victims of police brutality are Nigerian students. And our agitations are very point and straight that the welfare of Nigeria police must be looked into, sir. You don't expect a policeman that is being paid 40,000 at the end of the month not to use his gun to rob innocent youth of their belongings. The panel of inquiry must not be politicalized because the names we saw there, sir, were names that were being submitted to the appropriate authority without proper checking and vetting. As earlier hinted by my fellow comrade, that panel of inquiry must be expanded to cover all areas.
I want Mr. Governor to act fast, and such frequent meetings should be called. This is one in a million. We pray that this will not start and we end. Let it start and continue.
The departed rest in peace. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
This one na the ogbonge information we carry come give una on top inside Edo today. As Obaseki do meeting with youths for Edo, come assure them say dem go get 60% representation for im new cabinet. Make una sabi say na TMC TV na im carry this ogbonge information dey come give una. My name na Oiza Aboriogun from Benin.